Passenger, do you have any ID, sir? Passenger, do you have any ID?
I'm not required to answer your questions.
Sorry?
I'm not required to produce ID nor answer your questions. You can shut the hell up, mind your own business about who I am.
Do you have your ID, sir?
I'm not required to give you ID, sir.
Yes, you are.
No, I am not. This is not a stop and ID state, and I'm not the driver. You're incorrect.
All right.
This is my intro. There's a lot to try to go into, and I'm not going to try to lay it all out here. I will say this. I was a passenger in a vehicle when I and the driver both witnessed an EPD officer flying up the highway, not using his turn signals, cutting curves, going across the lines, riding the lines, whatever. We pulled up alongside the officer eventually as the public observing an officer during the course of his or her duties and attempting to document true speed by pacing him. Later, directly prior to a retaliatory stop, in my opinion, he again saw my camera up. Immediately after the second observation, Officer Oxygen Waster began forcefully pumping his brakes. I was not the driver. I would have made some different decisions during this, but the driver controls his own actions. I was mostly along for the ride. And before I even start this, let me tell you up front, yes, I'll be pausing for comments. There are other channels and other cop watchers and many other videos of idiot jizz juggler cops like these proving they and their department wouldn't know accountability nor professionalism if Chief Boland pulled it out of his panties and slapped them upside the face with it during the shift briefing. How much do you want to bet there is no accountability here either, and the alleged leader, Sergeant Assclown and Officer Jizzgargler, have done much worse when they knew they weren't being documented, or even when they knew they were? You know the old saying, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear? Well, I've heard a lot of stories about EPD, and I'm starting to believe them. Hey, Chief Ballerina or Ballerina or Bolin, or you know who the fuck I'm talking to. Is this what you meant by your mission statement here? To be honest, I tried my best to leave the interactions between the driver and officer on his knees and Sergeant Shitbag, but a few times I spoke up, especially after Shitbag asked me if I had ID on me. Now, I don't want to speak for the driver, but from my understanding, per a last conversation with the driver, Officer Seaman-Sucker should get prepared both for jury trials as well as official complaints. Although I was technically detained because I was in the scene, I was in the vehicle, I was not the driver. I was not the one stopped. I was not the one cited. As such, any complaints aren't going to be coming from me. They're coming from him because he was the main subject of the stop and the operator of the motor vehicle. And he has the ultimate decision as to whether or not he takes this to jury trial.
Show me how to do the speed limit.
Yeah, he needs some help doing that. See how close he's riding? He's the same kind of jackass that would stop you for riding that close on somebody.
Yep.
What I tell you. Make sure we get him lined up.
Afternoon.
I'm here to retaliate to satisfy my need for Authoritah because I'm an insecure, internally deficient, tyrant piece of shit. It was a good afternoon until your man boobs and fat gut you try to hide under your vest waddled up to the window. Oh, and where's your mask, shithead? You could be giving or receiving corona right this second. Yeah, you're real worried about getting someone sick, like all the typical bullies worry about their victims. You were literally within a foot of the driver at certain points and touching his phone, if I remember correctly. How many people have you considered citing or arresting, or have done so, for violating some order regarding the pandemic?
Do you have your license registration, sir?
For what?
Well, for multiple reasons. Do you have your license registration, sir?
Are you on duty?
What's that?
Are you on duty?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. So you
Can I
think
have
it's
your
all...
license registration, please?
Can you get your sergeant here?
What's that?
Can you get your sergeant here?
I've got one coming. Can I have license registration, please?
For what reason?
License and registration.
For what
please.
reason?
License and registration because I'm conducting a traffic stop. License and registration, please.
Traffic stop for what?
Go ahead and hand me your license, please.
Traffic stop for what?
Let me have your license, please, and I'll explain everything.
It's what he didn't say that spoke the loudest, and his voiceless words kept screaming, quote, I'm a piece of shit, but you didn't get to record my other shithead acts of my career, end quote. Moving on.
If you're getting pulled over on a traffic stop, yes, and the officer asks you for ID, you have to provide identification.
Look, I really wanted to tell the driver and even tried to signal to him that yes, the 10-badged gang member domestic enemy thug was correct. He needed to provide ID because he was driving. But as I said, I was trying to stay mostly out of it. It wasn't my vehicle, I wasn't driving, and he is his own person. There's several things I probably would have done slightly differently, but it was his traffic stop. Moving on.
I know, but what am I being stopped for?
I'll explain everything in a second. Maybe your ID, please. You have registration and insurance for the vehicle.
And here's where Madam Officer Buttsuck decides she wants to ask for my ID, then claim the law requires me to produce it upon demand, and I politely decline. Wrong question, Officer Dumbfuck. But what a surprise, another fucking idiot badge wearer citing fictitious laws, inventing laws as you go, having no fucking idea the laws you purport to enforce, to put a band-aid on your butt hurt because you didn't get the superhero respect you think you deserve, and got caught driving like an entitled hypocrite 10-badged above-the-law coward. Here's a suggestion for you, bitch boy. Why don't you take your anti-freedom, gang member mentality, badge, domestic enemy attitude, and ask your husband to cradle you in his arms tonight so you can cry it all out. When you're done, take a salt tablet, tip up your canteen, tip it up, to stay hydrated, then shut the fuck up and move on. To the person who is intimidated and coerced by your tyranny. Pussy. Moving on.
Passenger, do you have any ID, sir? Passenger, do you have any ID?
I'm not required to answer your questions.
Sorry?
I'm not required to produce ID nor answer your questions. You can shut the hell up and mind your own business about who I am.
Do you have your ID, sir?
I'm not required to give you ID, sir.
Yes, you are.
No, I am not. This is not a stop and ID state, and I'm not the driver. You're incorrect.
All right.
What's your name and badge number, sir?
Officer Taylor, 1396.
Well, you need to get a refresher course in the laws.
See him nod his head in agreement, though sarcastically, as he realizes his badge isn't quite as intimidating as the fellow tyrants at the Tyrant Convention convinced him it was when they handed him out. Let's watch Lady Lickballs agree one more time.
You need to get a refresher course in the laws. See, if I was driving, that's one thing. I'm not driving. And this ain't a stop and ID state. And even if it was, you need reasonable articulable suspicion that I've done something.
Ooh, if looks could kill. Press 1 if you think he's thinking about shooting me. Press 2 if you think he's about to cry. Press 3 if you think he'll ask his fellow gang members for a reassuring hug after the stop. Press 4 if you think he's trying to articulate cause to violate my rights, force me to remove my N95 mask, and produce ID. Moving on.
Go get schooled somewhere, sir. Jackass, another tyrant with a badge, obviously. Well, number one, he was flying up the road, going well above the speed limit. Obviously not on a car, he wouldn't have stopped us. Number two, he was switching lanes without using his turn signal. And number three, he was trying to request ID from me, which is not gonna fucking happen. So we're gonna have another one coming. Let's see which one this is.
One that was just here.
Yeah, well, that one is a different one then. Is he coming up?
Yeah, they're all back there in the powwow.
Okay.
I need your card.
All right, there's your information.
I need your card.
No, that'd be
And I
fine.
need their two as well.
You need their what?
I need their ID cards. Their
They can give you their information. I'm talking to you right now as a sergeant. What, do you want to speak with me as a sergeant?
Yeah, I want to know why I'm being stopped.
Yeah, the officer guy will tell you that, okay?
You're the sergeant?
Yes, I'm the sergeant.
Can I get your name and badge number?
It's right there.
Oh, look. Another EPD sergeant that couldn't lead a fucking line of ants to a bowl of jello. However, you drove my point home for me. I've always said, once some idiots get rank, whether in the military or policing or any other profession really, a lot of them tend to forget where they came from, and or the tendencies to be oxygen-wasting pieces of better-off dead shit is allowed to grow exponentially and daily. Also, how absolutely dumb as a box of rocks do you have to be to place pens in your pocket blocking your own name tag, then point at it while looking at it and say, it's right there? You're one special kind of worthless stupid, and the kind to smear good officers' reputation. If you wonder why so many in this country would celebrate officers' injuries and or death, just find the nearest mirror, invite Taint Liquor Taylor over, and you two can spend the day trying to figure out which one of you is more deserving of what idiots like you earn, the hate. Throw in some honorless tyrant Hargett, and you three can have a three-way circle jerk. Moving along.
Oh, so
Is
you
that
can't
what
say
you
it?
tell the judge?
You what?
I can't read it.
I'm talking to him right now, sir.
I can't read it.
Okay,
Your
that's
pins
fine.
are in front of it.
What's your attitude?
Yeah,
What's your,
there's another tyrant.
Is that how you tell
My name
the
is
judge?
Sergeant Cormelink.
Okay, thank you.
Number?
5155.
It's simple professionalism. It's not that hard.
Okay, I'm talking to one person at a time, sir.
I understand.
Is there anything else you want to speak with me about? He can tell you all everything about that, about the car stop. Do you want to speak to me about anything else?
I'd like to speak to you.
I just want to know why I'm being stopped.
I don't know if it was speeding. I don't know what it was. Did he tell you anything?
No, he said he doesn't
Okay.
know yet.
Okay. Well, he'll talk to you about all that. Okay. Anything else with me?
Yeah, well, depending on what happens with him.
Do what?
Depends on what he says.
Okay. And that's it right now.
Yeah, but I would hang tight in case it depends on what he
Okay.
says.
All right. All right. Just find your registration or at least proof of sale on your insurance. May I see it, please? Thank you. Let me see your ID again. Sergeant gave it back. Didn't realize I wasn't done with it. You have
Okay.
you still have that proof of insurance, sir.
I have it on my phone.
Okay. Can I see it, please?
Why did you stop me?
What's that?
Why did you stop me?
I'll discuss that in a second. When you find the insurance, please.
So you're fishing.
What's that?
So you're fishing?
No,
for-
I'm not fishing. Who's your insurance through?
American Family Insurance.
Okay.
The
Do
same
you
on
pull
my
up-
plate.
Okay, it's not on your plate, sir. If you'll do me a favor, please pull up your insurance.
I gotta update the app real quick.
What's that?
I'm updating my app real quick.
Okay, that's fine.
And I know it's tied in with my registration on the
Okay,
plate.
the state of Indiana, you're required to provide proof of financial responsibility either by paper or by phone. If you can't do that, then that's a separate issue we can address. If you have it, that's great. Okay, work on getting that for me. We're able to get your insurance. May I see it, please?
You can look at it right here.
Disconnect your phone so I can look at it. I gotta make sure the policy's right and everything.
I'll zoom in for it.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Okay, do me a favor. I'm not gonna take your phone. Just hand it out. I'm not gonna reach inside your vehicle.
It's right here. No, I don't know. You can look
I'm
at
a
it right
police
here.
officer. Officer Hasser, the sergeant's here.
Ooh, did you hear that, everyone? He's a police officer. Well, that just means jack tyrannical shit today, doesn't it, Dick Juice? You should have just said, sir, I'm a narcissistic piece of rights-violating shit. I'd have felt safer, and you'd at least be making a truthful statement. Oh, and telling us you have 2 more of your kind standing behind us is just the icing on the fucking cake, but it doesn't help your claim we should feel more secure. Shut the fuck up. Next.
Hand
right
the phone
here.
out, please, so I can look at it. Thank you.
You're not going through my phone.
Disconnect it, please. That way I can.
It's right here. You can read it and write it down.
That doesn't have when the policy expires. Yes, it does. I'm sorry. $610 of 20. Okay, it's not that hard. Okay. The reason I stopped you is because you came to a sudden stop up on the highway. I was checking to see who you were. Okay.
Right,
And you
we-
came to a sudden stop on the highway. Okay.
We got you countless times.
What's that?
Illegal lane changes, speeding.
Well, you didn't make proper lane changes, but I was checking
Yes,
to
I
see if
did.
you
I
were
used to
okay.
Did you hear him say I was checking to see if you're okay? Let's hear it one more time.
But I was checking
Yes,
to
I
see if
did.
you
I
were
used to
okay.
That's a funny joke. I've got one too. You're an honorable, trustworthy officer.
turn signal every time.
What's that?
I use my turn signal every time.
Look, it doesn't.
We'll
Look,
agree to
we
disagree.
got a video. We got a
Do me a
video.
favor, just sit tight. Let me finish your ticket, and then I'll be right up.
We got a video of his lack of signals. We got a video of his speed. Let him do it. Just let him do it.
So there's your license, paperwork, there's your citation for obstruction of justice and speed.
Here we go. Obstruction of justice. First off, I doubt you can even spell justice, you fucking idiot, much less hand it out. 2, I believe you cited for obstructing traffic, not obstruction of justice. However, I'm sure you have used that catch-all phrase as well as disorderly conduct when you couldn't find a lawful and valid reason to actually arrest someone you wanted to prove your Authoritah to. By the way, when was it you decided we were speeding, dickhead? Was it when you were doing an estimated 90 miles per hour down the interstate, switching lanes without using your turn signal? Also, at what point was the driver obstructing anything or anyone? Was it when you were almost violently cramming your brakes beside us? You truly are one dumb fucking sack of 2 brain-celled amphibious shit. You know what? Go slap your parents for not aborting you as a fetus, then shut the fuck up, you Larry the Cable Guy lookalike wannabe. You're not funny. You're just fucking stupid. Moving along.
Have a better day, sir.
Hey, here's my
Hold on
ID.
a second. I need your
If you
business
want to
card.
contest it, you can appear in court.
I want your business card, and I want the other guy in the
I don't have
sergeant.
any business cards to hand out.
I found my ID
Have a
for
good
you,
day, sir.
Yeah, I
dickhead.
need your business card.
I don't have a business card.
You don't have any proof
Nope.
of identification that you hand out.
No, I'm on video right now. I'm on video, and my name is Sergeant Cormelink, 5155.
What's his other guy's?
Do what?
What's the other guy's name and badge number?
I don't know his badge number. Yeah, you can ask him if you want.
Name and badge number?
Officer Jake Hassler.
So is there anything else you need?
1454. All right, thanks, sir.
That's for court. I'm not going to dispute anything. That's not for us.
I'm not going to file a complaint against him.
Okay, that's for internal affairs. You can come down Monday through Friday and do that, okay? You need to do it in person. You have to sign it, okay? Anything else?
There's no online?
No, there's nothing. I don't believe there's anything online. You have to sign
With
it.
the corona, can you still get in there to do it?
Call ahead of time just to make sure. I don't think, as far as I know, you can, but I don't want to. So, okay, is there anything else?
Don't be a douche.
All right, have a good day.
And give
You're
this
being a dick.
ID to the other guy.
He